I'm Dan, and this is not Abby. Abby is away for a few hours at the grandparents' place, just for a change of scenery. So today I've got Poppy helping me. She's usually a bit of a liability, but we'll see how we go. So today, in light of having the dog here, leave that. We're going to be making a salty dog. Poppy just had TPLO surgery, which means she had her knee rebuilt. That's why she's a bit shaved on one side. TPLO surgery, they cut off the shin and they move it around and then they screw it back together. So today we're going to make a salty dog. You can make a salty dog with either gin or vodka, and the other part of it is grapefruit juice. Now, no one really likes grapefruit juice or grapefruits. I'm not going to be making this with fancy pink grapefruit that you see in sort of the crafty lemonades. I'm using these old school yellow grapefruit. I've got a tree in the backyard and I have to pick these up every time I mow the lawn, which is a pain in the bum. But it's the old school marmalade style that your grandmother used to make that everybody hated. So this could be a bit puckery. That's why I've gone with gin today. I think gin and juice, particularly grapefruit juice, will probably work out quite well. And if it's a bit too bitter at the end, I'll add a bit of simple syrup. So salty dog, we have to dress the glass, so we're going to put a bit of salt around the rim. I like to use flaky sea salt because it sort of melts in your mouth rather than being crunchy if you take it out of a grinder or something. We're not going to be too educational today because, well, Abby's not here, so it'll be, you know, a bit of a waste of time. But we'll do a little bit of history anyway and biology. So I've just salted the rim of that glass. Next I'm going to chuck a bit of ice in here. This one's pretty simple, there's not a whole lot of ingredients. After I've done this, we'll probably make Poppy a cocktail with some eggs and milk, and we'll see how much of a mess she makes on that. So that's probably enough ice there. I'm not going to measure the gin today because I've done enough maths this week. I'm just going to put a glug in there and we'll see how we go. So gin's quite an old drink. It's like the new black at the moment. Everyone's making these crafty gins. Gin goes right back to like the 1300s. I think it was came from Italy, and then the Dutch and the Netherlands type people latched onto it and they started making gins as well. And Dutch courage actually comes from when English soldiers were fighting back in the 1500s. I think it was the 80-day war or something. There was always wars on back then. Dutch courage, they used to drink gin to get a bit braver before they rushed into battle, and I know that's what I would be doing. I would be at least a little bit hammered if I was having to rush at someone with a sword, or I don't know if they used swords or muskets or whatever back in the 1500s. I never really paid attention in history class. So, grapefruit juice. So this is some juice I made this morning, just from ye old grapefruits. So I'm just going to dump that in there and see how we go, really. Got to be careful with grapefruit because it affects the enzymes that allow some drugs to metabolize. So it actually increases the amount of particular drugs in your blood, particularly statins and things like that, some heart drugs and antipsychotic drugs. It slows down the liver's ability to metabolize it, so you end up with more of the drug in your system. So I don't think there's been any like major problems with it, but it has been noted in studies to be something to look out for. So if you're on heart medications, probably not the drink for you, although I suspect you probably have to have several litres of grapefruit juice for it to really affect you. I'm just going to have a wee sip of this one to see how it goes. It's actually pretty good. It's actually pretty good. Very good. It's a pleasant surprise because I've never made that one, and I don't generally drink grapefruit juice. That grapefruit juice is probably a lot sweeter than I had expected. I always remember grapefruit juice being quite tart. But there you have it for that one. I guess I'm going to make Poppy one now. So what I'm going to do for Poppy is I'm going to crack a couple eggs into this here shaker. Not really very good at cracking eggs, which is why I don't do baking. Alright, one egg. Pretty miserable old day in Auckland this morning, which is why I'm sort of hunkered down on the couch. Not really too interested in going outside for too long. I'll throw some ice in there. just for effect. I don't think Poppy really cares. If I cracked a raw egg, she'd gobble into that little bit of milk. Because the drink that we just made was so simple, I just need to suck up a bit more time doing this. Someone gave me this enormous gold cocktail shaker, so just gonna give it a shake. Okay, we'll see how that goes. I'm sure Poppy will enjoy it. Since Abby's not here today to partake. It's kind of like scrambled eggs, but without the cooking. Do you want to get into that, Poppy? Come on that. Yeah, it's a bit far away, isn't it? You're going to have to get down. Hold on a second, I'll just get the puppy down. All right. Come on, Poppy, get down. Here you go. Over here. Over here. Here. She needs a treat. Come here. Here you go, look. Drink that, look. You can have that. Yeah, she's into it. She doesn't really get to eat sort of things on the coffee table very often, so she's a bit cautious. And I think that's all we've really got to go into today, so it's just a short, quick one. Like I said, Poppy just had surgery, so one of the top tips of today is if you have a dog, get it insured, if you can afford it. And if you're on any sort of heart medication, don't drink too much grapefruit. Don't drink and drive. That's all we've got to say today. Catch you tomorrow.